Good evening, dear friend. Welcome to the Friday edition of this thing of ours, the Friday evening edition of this thing of ours. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for not necessarily being who you are, but what you appear to be. And we mean this sincerely from the bottom of our hearts. Please let me ask you, let me remind you, which is very, very critical to. I ask very, very specifically for you to please subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell, hit the like button. The like buttons are so critical. I know people say that all the time. And when you listen to new videos, you think, oh God, there they go again. But it's true. It really, honest to God, is the truth. And it's something which we need and we ask you and we appreciate so very much. And we thank you. Let me remind you also that it is 263 days until the election. 263 days. Tonight, dear friends, we're going to be talking about three things. One, Fani Willis, the perfect admixture. Did you see where she had her dress on backwards? Did you see that? Did you see that one? Who saw that? How many of you fashionistas out there saw that? How many of you noticed that? See the zipper here? Did you see this in the Daily News? She had it on the back. It's so, I mean, it's so sad. Bless her heart. Bless her heart. It's backwards. It's worth $8 million, though. Where that came from, I have no idea. Corrupt, idiotic, a rube, a fool, a Boeotian, a chuff, a churl, a boor, an icona, a dimwit, a dullard, with $8 million. So it goes to show you. And her lover, her paramour, her boy toy, the equally daft and demented Mr. Wade, who was thinking, what the hell am I doing here? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about this, how everybody is in on Navalny. Oh my God, America loves Navalny. This is the most important thing in the world. Oh my God, Alexei Navalny. America is in love. They don't know anything about this guy. They don't know nothing. They don't know anything about who he is. Nothing. Including Ainsley Earhart. Ainsley. I love our troops. Okay, Ainsley. Thank you, dear heart. Appreciate that. I'm gonna have my Mrs. L's credentials up there, which are good. Lynn's Warriors, no problem with that. She was on this morning at Fox News, and therefore they killed him. That's why we got to send more money to Ukraine. Well, what about this one, Ainsley? Okay, honey, let me see if you can run by this one. They killed Gonzalo Lira. Ukraine did. So by your argument, they should stop money to Ukraine because a Ukrainian killed an American citizen versus a Russian, according to you, killed a Russian citizen. First of all, what difference does it make? You tell me how you're going to shed any tears tonight over the death of a Russian by Russia. I don't understand this. And America cares so much about Navalny. You never give a goddamn about who killed or who didn't commit suicide when it came to Jeffrey Epstein. So these people, I despise them. They don't know what they're talking about. And third, the president's judgment. $370 million, a 3-year suspension of the ability to conduct business in New York State. Come on. We'll be talking about that, dear friends. We'll be talking about that. And we take your thoughts and your comments, and we love the fact that you are with us. So please sit back. Now, I want you to also make sure you pay very, 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 very close attention to this important, this critical, this absolutely important sponsor of ours. Listen carefully because you know that COVID mania round 2 is just around the corner. What are you going to do this time? Well, as if one pandemic wasn't enough, New York City's health commissioner has been waving the white flag. Biden's non-existent border policies are producing contagious diseases not seen in decades. The 2.5 million recorded migrant encounters at the U.S.-Mexico border alone in 2023 represent a new all-time high. And it's getting worse as we actively watch the escalating border standoff between Texas and the federal government. These illegal immigrants come from 160 countries, many, if not most, with terrible healthcare standards. This is driving a resurgence of rare diseases and bringing about new ones. That's where the wellness company's medical emergency kit comes in. This kit contains emergency antibiotics, antivirals, and antiparasitics, 8 life-saving medications, including amoxicillin, Z-Pak, and others that since 2020 weren't even allowed to be talked about. Can you say ivermectin? All of this to keep on hand in case of emergencies, along with a guidebook detailing instructions for safe use. In a time when many Americans say they would avoid a doctor or hospital unless it was a catastrophic situation, the Wellness Company's medical emergency kit provides a solution. The Wellness Company is home to Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Drew Pinsky, and truth-telling doctors who are rooted in their commitment to building a parallel healthcare system and empowering you to take control of your health. Be prepared for the unexpected. Go to twc.health/Lionel and grab your medical emergency kit right now. That's twc.health/Lionel. Use promo code Lionel and save 15% at checkout. Don't wait until it's too late. Take control of your health with the Wellness Company's medical emergency kit. And these kits are only available in the USA. All right, my friends, thank you so very much. Thank you so much. Yolanda Torres says, please check out independent rapper Sean McDonald and his song Trying to Kill Me. He dares to say what other labels won't. He managed to get Ben Shapiro to rap on a song with him. Excellent. Well, thank you, Yolanda. And by the way, I dig the guerrilla advertising. I haven't heard it, but I'm sure it's great, and I thank you for your kindness. Now, where do we start? Let's talk with Fani Willis first of all. Fani Willis. Give me a name, give me a word, give me something. When I say Fani Willis, what is it that comes to mind? What is it that you think of when you see Fani Willis? Well, tell me. What is it? What comes to mind? Tell me, dear friends. Tell me what comes to mind. Tell me what you think. Tell me what it is that you think about regarding this incredible. I just saw this. Headline. Eagle star Don Henley can now be grilled about a 16-year-old prostitute ODing at his LA home in 1980. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. I'm sorry, I just saw this. Trans Health Secretary Rachel Levine claims climate change disproportionately affects mental and physical well-being of Black Americans. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find Fanny's address backwards. Let me see this. Biden makes fleeting trip to an East Palestine more than a year after train. President greeted with FU chants, tells residents we leave no one behind in whistle-stop visit to village before heading to the beach. I'm sorry. A 10-second brain freeze and a broken promise to retaliate for Navalny's death. Putin is laughing into his blood-soaked borscht and warns David Marcus every day, Sleepy Joe clings on America's enemies grow more murderous. Can you believe this? You don't know anything about Navalny. You have no idea what he's about. None whatsoever. But I got to find this one particular thing. Please let me find this. There's so much. Oh, here we go. Just you see Fanny's father? Most Black folks, they hide cash. D.A. Fani Willis's Black Panther father defends her keeping piles of money at home during bizarre misconduct hearing and tells a story about when they were racially abused in a diner over a credit card. What the hell does this have to do? Here we go. Did Fani Willis, 53, wear her dress backwards on the stand? Beleaguered DA is mocked by eagle-eyed viewers for sporting zipper at the front of pink frock. Just saying, ladies and gentlemen. Just saying. DA Fani Willis avoids further humiliation in misconduct hearing as she spared second day on the stand after being grilled on her sex life with Southern gentleman, prosecutor, lover, and piles of cash she gave him. You have got to be kidding. How often do you find yourself saying, how stupid do these people think? And then, of course, when she gets pushed too far, oh, it's the black thing. It's the black card. Oh, yeah. It's the, yep. You know what? You know that's coming. You know where this is coming. You know where this is coming. This, absolutely. Leadership requires killing. Tucker Carlson sparks outrage for claiming every leader kills people in an interview before Alexei Navalny was found dead, as ex-Fox News host is challenged for not grilling Putin. Do you really want to do you think people, let me ask you a question. Do you think people really want to talk about this? What do you really, I mean, do you really want the truth, or do you want me just to say, well, let's just say whatever it is? Fani Willis is an incompetent rube. She is a disgusting and vile, corrupt, politically infected insult to the legal profession. She is an embarrassment to anybody who is a prosecutor. She lives in a world of this, this fake, you're lying. I mean, this is like, I don't know what this is, Ricky Lake or something. I swear to God, it reminds me of somebody who's about to go berserk at any moment. Hair pulling or something like that. This is low rent, low class, low intellect, low talent, low morals, low everything. And she's an embarrassment. And let me just say something right now. And let me just say this, and we all know this. Of course, because she's a black woman, people are going to bend over backwards. Oh my God, you're saying this. I have worked with, and we all have worked with. In fact, that law schools eventually now are going to be more women than men. Okay? I have worked and with everybody you can imagine. And there are normally when you get to a certain position, but the fact that you're there, you've already done all the ferreting out, so to speak. You've eliminated the low rungs, so to speak. She's incompetent. She is a rube. She took on one of the most stupid cases. Racketeering? Excuse me, no, sir, was not guerrilla marketing. Well, I mean, Yolanda, I meant using this particular forum, but thank you. I meant that as a compliment, as innovative, as wise, as sapient, as being unique is what I meant. Guerrilla. Now, this goes to show you, and the Fulton County folks, oh my God, they must be thinking, what is going on here? She lied. She's been lying. And this guy, did I hear correctly? I heard somebody suggest that he went back and after the fact, post hoc redaction of sworn either interrogatories or pleadings that were filed in a divorce case involving sexual intercourse with other people, and he pled the fifth. Did I hear this? You waive the Fifth Amendment after you've started answering. It's the most absurd thing I've ever heard in my life. And I hope they burn her. Because when you take the position of a prosecutor and you use it to go after your political enemies, when you do it to, I mean, when you use that power, you take a pen and you sign your name and somebody gets arrested. Oh my God. Well, we used to, it was so funny. We used to, you're in your prosecutor's office and you're writing things up and you're filling out these forms and you're filling out this stuff and you take it and you sign your name and we used to throw it in a bin, and that thing you wrote goes to one of the writers of and they would be writing out the information, and then somebody's getting charged. It was like this machine. And I thought to myself, do you know what you're doing? Every one of these people, every one of these cases, it's a misdemeanor, it's a felony, whatever. It's just cranking them out every single day. And your job was to make sure, is this legit? Is this a legit case? Is this okay? Is this, have I overcharged, undercharged? Do I know what I'm talking about? Is this fair? Could I prove this case? Do I feel good about this? Do I like this case? Is it my, do I? These are the things you think about when you prosecute. This woman says, I'm going to charge racketeering. Racketeering. Do you know what this is? Racketeering. Think the Gambino crime family. Think about conspiracies, interwoven groups, levels of criminal concupiscence, criminal coordination at various levels. Think of this. Think of that. Andy McCarthy said the best line was, the only thing these people have in common is they're on the same indictment. Some of these people never met each other. They have no idea. And all Trump did was say, get me 100,000 or 10,000, whatever the particular number was. He wasn't saying make this up. He wasn't saying go and concoct this. He was saying the same way Stacey Abrams did it. Find legitimate, actual votes that I believe are there. He did not believe, I know this sounds hard for people to believe, he did not believe the subject or the numbers that were presented. I'm sorry, but that's the way that is. And he has every right in the world to challenge that. Again, like Stacey Abrams did. Hello. That's the way that works. It's simple. Now, let's jump to this case of Trump and this ridiculous, listen to this one. Trump must decide whether to liquidate his assets to pay the $355 million civil court fine, or may have to cough up an extra $35 million to secure a bond. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Donald Trump is estimated to be worth more than $2 billion, so they say. But paying off a $355 million fine could require a little bit of a pain. He owns 24 buildings as part of a golf and real estate empire, but has kept only a fraction of his worth in cash or other liquid assets. He claimed in a deposition for the suit brought by Letitia James to have $400 million in cash, saying it was a lot for a developer. James investigators found his liquid assets were $93 million as of 2020. That creates a potential cash flow. So they're going to have to figure out. Now, this is if he goes ahead and he appeals, he has to most likely post a bond. Now, there is this case, and I'm trying to I want you to understand this. There is a particular provision in the state of New York, probably state of New York only. It came about during the Jack Javits days, which provides that a person can be held liable even if no one is claiming fraud or damage or victimization or whatever you want to call it. That they themselves, they can claim damage. They can claim, the state, even though no one has ever complained. They're just saying that they believe that the amount that was pledged or secured or attempted to be secured is in no way commensurate with the actual value. The reason why it's ridiculous, but it's unchallenged, it's the law, is that if you were to dare to pledge, to secure, to use X amount of properties as collateral, you will go ahead and you will have that property reviewed. Have you ever had an accident, a car accident? You ever had it? You ever called up your insurance agent and said, listen, my car was damaged, $10,000. Send me a check. I'll get it squared away. You ever hear that? If you called up your, Geico or Progressive and said, listen, $10,000, just send me the check. I'll get it squared away. Now, they send an adjuster. somebody looks at it. They love you. They like you. They don't take your word for it. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. And it goes to show you the level of insanity that I'm living in right now, and that you are as well. And when this man wins, which, believe it or not, I know this is hard for people to understand, but when you keep attacking somebody over and over and over and over and over, when that happens, people sometimes actually believe that somebody is being treated unfairly, and it has a negative effect. Okay. Now I want to talk to you about something which is a case which absolutely blows me away. Number one, yes or no? Very simple question I ask you. Yes or no? Do you have any idea, seriously, who Alexei Navalny is? Yes or no? Do you? You have any idea? Be honest with me. Have you ever heard of him? Ever heard of him? You ever heard of him? Nope. Nope. Edward says one. There's one. Nope. Yes. You know all about him. Tell me, who is he? When people say yes, I'm just curious. Who is he? What is he? What is his significance? Who is he? And what does it mean to us? Who is he? Tell me the significance of why Alexei Navalny, what it means to us as American citizens. Anyone? Anyone care to do that? Would you like to step up? Anybody to come forward? Please, I ask. Anybody? Anybody? Anybody have any idea? Anybody? Yes, Russian politician opposed to many of Putin's views. A politician? No. 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 Blogger. CIA cutout. Ah, David. David, wait a minute. Hang on. Yes, but think he's an asset for some reason. Convicted embezzler who broke probation and jailed? No, I don't know him, but yes, I heard about him. He was against the oligarchs, tried to start the color revolution. No, part of a CIA plot for a coupe, or a coupe, as it were. That's like a sedan or a coupe. Well, my friends, that's not even it. But let me tell you what the National Review has. Alexei Navalny was one of the bravest men of our time. He stood up to one of the most evil men of our time, Vladimir Putin. Navalny has now died, a political prisoner at 47. This is from the editors of the National Review. He was widely known as the leader of the opposition, the Russian political opposition to Putin. He was the opposition. In 2020, agents of the FSB almost killed him with poison. He managed to survive, having been taken. Sometimes Putin's critics survive. How do we know that? Do you know that? Do you know that? Do we know anything? Okay. But he's a hero. He's a hero. And they are absolutely adamant. They are crying. And by the way, I know absolutely a little bit about how he could be portrayed to some. To many people, he was not considered he was not considered heroic. He might have been, when he came about in the 90s, when prior to Putin, when they were folks who were considered, in essence, anti-Russian. And look, we have in our country two different sets of people, among many, but two in particular. We have the Biden side and the Trump side. And they are as different and as varied and as diverse and separate as you can imagine. Two very very, very different people. We have people here in this country who believe in Biden and sex being neutered, and they believe in children, whatever. Now, are they Americans? Yes, they are Americans. Absolutely. They deserve the same amount of protection that we do, but you could not in any way be more different. So the idea that there is this thing in Russia called Russia and the opposition misses the point completely. But nobody cares at all about our American citizen, Gonzalo Lira, who was, in essence, who died mysteriously, because this man died. He stopped breathing. They said, okay, well, Gonzalo Lira stopped breathing too. In Ukraine, after being taken into custody, he says tortured and beaten by Ukrainians. Why is it that we as American citizens should look the other way? Nobody's answering that. They had some clowns on Fox News say that Navalny's death is reason for us to support. Explain this to me. The Ukraine, what? Support Ukraine because Navalny was allegedly killed by Putin. Okay. So that means that if the Ukrainians killed an American citizen versus the Russians allegedly killing a Russian citizen, if that's supposed to double down, a Russian citizen killed by a corrupt Russian government, give money to Ukraine. Why not give money to the Houthis? I mean, what do they have to do with it? Nothing, but neither does Ukraine. Follow me on this. They're saying that Putin killed a Russian. Okay. So therefore, give money to Ukraine. And that's going to stop this. But Ukrainians who kill an American, that definitely would mean stop giving Ukraine money because they killed one of us. Nobody's bringing that up. Why do you think that is? John McGuire couldn't get higher, says naval being off is bad. But I wonder why there is really this level of outrage over the 4,000 to 5,000 that get killed every year in U.S. prisons. Well, it's funny you say that, John. And let me also say to you, what some friends of mine have said is, what about the 21,000 Palestinians who've been killed? That's what they say. Well, that's a different story. Do you want to play Let's Get Mad at Murder? Let's Get Mad at Death? Would you like? Do you want to keep playing that? I think that makes a lot of sense, don't you? Stand by for 1 second, my friend. Stand by. Listen to me very, very carefully. Because I want you to hear about something that means a lot to me. This is you getting squared away in case of something that is most catastrophic occurring. Let's talk about a very serious subject, emergency food. That's right, emergency food. I know. At first blush, it's difficult for most people to think about something that they just take for granted ever reaching emergency status. We're used to stores always being open, deliveries always made, no supply chain disasters, no ransomware catastrophes, none of that stuff. Nothing shutting down our gas stations, right? No trucking strikes, no war, no protests from farmers, nothing catastrophic in terms of weather. Nope, that can't happen to us. And I understand it's a defense mechanism that we have because the idea of ever not being able to eat or locate food is seemingly incomprehensible. Well, it's not. That's why it's time for you to go to my site, preparewithlionel.com. Preparewithlionel.com has the deal of deals for you. I'll take it as a starter set. You've been putting off emergency food for too long. Some people still have a thing about prepping as though preparing for emergency is foolish. Now, right now, you can save $60 on a 4-week emergency supply kit. This is unbelievable. 16 varieties with a 25-year shelf life, 2,000 calories a day in 2 beautifully modular buckets that weigh 38 pounds total. These are waterproof and they're perfectly stackable. 4 weeks, a month. Now, be honest, could you go a week without any trips to any store? I'm not talking about having stuff in your cabinet. I'm not talking about banana chips and jerky. I mean food, real food. So go right now to preparewithlionel.com, right now, right this moment, preparewithlionel.com, preparewithlionel.com. You'll thank me, trust me. I love trying to figure out why certain things get us and why things don't. I remember a while back, somebody after they were, I guess, listening to, or I think when this Ukrainian business started, out of nowhere, they started to feel, I guess, the tugs of this or what have you. And nothing really got their attention until all of a sudden they talked about the dogs. Yeah. The dogs, the dogs that were either left behind in Ukraine or something. Dogs. Dogs. Now, let me explain something to you. I think that dogs are wonderful. I think that dogs bring a tremendous degree of love and affection to us, but they are not human. On their best day, they can't be human. Maybe sometimes it's good because sometimes humans really suck. But I never understood this. Like, why are they so interested in dogs? Where did this dog thing come from? What is this? Someone should explain something to me. Please explain, dear friends, how nobody in this country cares about the fact that Gonzalo Lira is dead, an American citizen. Last time we were in D.C. in front of the White House. They had that Leonard Peltier, you know, the Indian who was convicted of shooting the FBI agent. They cared about this. Now, explain to me something. You're an American citizen, and apparently your president is getting very upset over the fact that they killed Navalny. How many, as John McGuire people, have been killed in American prisons? How many people have been beaten to death? Look at Whitey Bulger. I know nobody cares about Whitey Bulger, but he was killed and had his eyes gouged out. Do you want to talk about that? How many people go to American prisons and are raped, come out? How many American citizens do you know of spent, in one case, I think up to 22 years for being a part of a Washington trespass called January 6th? Absolute, unmitigated, 18-karat bullshit, where these folks were alleged to have been involved in the and the seditious conspiracy and insurrection. Complete horseshit. 100%. Nobody came to their. So Russia says this guy is a bad guy according to our rules. This guy is an embezzler. This guy is this guy is that. Let's assume it's nothing. But what about this in our country? We have Americans who went away. Anybody clamoring for them? No. But I'm supposed to, let me get this straight. I'm supposed to do what? Navalny's dead, and do what? Load him up, send more money of our money to Ukraine because this guy's dead? I don't understand this. We had people in our country who were denied the right to bail. In one case, 22 years for that nonsense of January 6th. We had a guy named Jeffrey Epstein. You may have heard of him. Did you ever hear this guy, Jeffrey Epstein? You see, there's this thing that's really interesting. You see, my friends, let me see if I can explain this to you. They had around his neck, see, if I were to go like this, you would see deep, like cut, like this really cut in, right? Cut it. Carotid, this part here, this would be this hypoxia anoxia. Pull it like this, and I just go like that. Not this, no, that's this part. That's a choke. This is different. This is a sleeper. You know, that kind of thing. You don't make that noise. It's this action. And when you take this off, you'll find real deep ligature marks, deep from a cord, like a CPAP cord or whatever it is. But if you have cloth, like strips of whatever around it, it doesn't lend itself. Plus, it'll rip and all that kind of stuff. And the pressure, the ligature is so great that the hyoid bone, which is the only bone which floats, it's not connected to anything. It's just there. It's under the mandible, in the back. It's under. Go to the underneath here down. It's in the back. And the only time you ever see a fracture of it is like in the case of a clothesline or some. It's really hard to do it. It has been done, but normally it's from this anterior to posterior, this crushing strangulation, manual strangulation, asphyxiation, petechial hemorrhaging. Go like this. Look at petechial hemorrhaging in the eyes and the sclera and the white. You see it from this, it bursts. The hyoid bone and the thyroid cartilage fractured. Evidence after evidence. When you die, there's different forms of mortis, livor mortis, lividity. This is the pooling of blood. If you turn somebody over, you can see this kind of rubescent pooling. You see these blotches. You can see where bodies were moved. That's livor mortis. Algor mortis, temperature, the temperature of the body. Rigor mortis, the stiffness will tell you. All of these in Michael Baden knows his stuff. He said this was a homicide, as he said. There are four kinds of death. And think of the acronym NASH. Natural, accidental, suicide, homicide, and unexplained. NASHU, okay? Or NOSH. Unexplained kind of makes the most sense. Like, for example, you got a skull. By the way, interesting. This Kaylee Anthony. Remember that? Remember Kaylee Anthony? Do you remember that one? Do you remember this? Our good friend Christopher Owen. By the way, hey, Chris. Chris says, why is someone talking about how the United States is going to have a fair and legal election? If not figured out none of the other matters. Christopher, I could not agree with you more, sir. Could not agree with you more. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. But I want to just tell you how nobody cares about our Epstein. But I'm supposed to care about Navalny? And they killed this guy in front of everybody? And nobody talks about that? And I'm supposed to care about what? I don't understand that. I know he was a dirtbag. This guy was an asset. This guy, they offed him in front of everybody for a lot of reasons. And I'm supposed to care about Navalny. Nobody even cares about it. But I'm supposed to stop what I'm doing. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm sure he had a family. I'm sure he was a great guy. I don't know. We don't even know what happened. We don't even know what happened. For the love of God, we don't even know what happened. Can you give me even a fake report? We don't even know the report. But there's Biden. I know had my camera there, and this was a conveyor belt, but it wasn't that way. It used to be done by hand, but I don't know. Okay, thank you. That's terrific. I'm sure the family was behind that one. And of course, once you were told Putin's a bad guy, this is a bad guy, he's a good guy. Zelensky's a good guy, Putin's a bad guy, Xi Jinping a bad guy, Bibi good guy, Abu Mazen bad guy. MBS from the movie. The man who shot Liberty Valance. When the fact becomes legend, print the legend. Americans will be told anything automatically. They will believe anything. Humans believe anything, from religion to faith to mythology to old wives' tales to conspiracy theories to you name it. They believe anything. And they don't, and you've got the National Review. And already say, would you at least give me a report? And again, do you mean to tell me, they lock these people up, as you know, because Putin's a bad guy. I am not a Russian. I'm not a Chinese. I'm not anything. I'm an American. I don't want to move anywhere. I don't want to live anywhere. I don't. Nothing. I think I know a little bit about kind of how things work and how they work. And there was this guy named Julian Assange. And Julian Assange is a journalist. Now, we have this thing called the Constitution. And the first provision of the Constitution, called the First Amendment, is this provision that says basically that Congress shall pass no law, that we will not allow individuals from being prosecuted for reporting the truth. WikiLeaks and all that stuff was not responsible for the obtaining of information that proved problematic because of the fact that it was given to them. And under the case of Bartnicki against Vapor, Supreme Court case, they were acting as a journalist. That's simple. Okay? That's simple. And as a journalist, all that Assange did was print and report that which he received. Same way Daniel Ellsberg did for the Pentagon Papers and the like. So he is now in jail. Probably will end up dying or going crazy, going mad, and nobody cares about this. But excuse me, I'm supposed to do what again? I'm supposed to stop what I'm doing because of Navalny? I don't even know what happened. I don't even know. I've got people who are we have people who have been found, who have been on death row, who never committed the crime. Excuse me if I don't go crazy over Navalny. It's none of my business. It's their business. I'm concerned here. I've never heard Putin or Xi Jinping or MBS or Macron or Millet or anybody say, hey, did you see what those Americans are doing? Those poor bastards who merely trespassed, who spoke up, who might have been a bit raucous, who certainly may have been trespassing and certainly could be sentenced to that. They charged these people with sedition and insurrection and all this kind of stuff, and sentenced them for 18 to 22 years. And they did this. So do me a favor. When Russian citizens go on TV and their newspapers start talking about our American rights, when they start talking about why we never got to the bottom of Epstein, when they worry about why Assange, and there has been some message about that, when they start talking about Gonzalo Lira, when they do that, I'll pay attention about Navalny. I'm not going to pretend these people who have a hard-on for Putin. They just are, it's like a fixation. Do you not see what's going on here? No, I'm not. This is how stupid everything is. So stupid. And let me explain something to you right now. And I want you to listen to me, and I want you to listen real good. They're going to steal this election, and they're going to do it legally, and there's not a goddamn thing you can do about it. You hear what I'm saying? Nothing. Ronna McDaniel said, bye-bye. They're going to bring what, Lara Trump? They're going to do it again. You hear what I'm saying to you? They're going to do it again. What was that again? They're going to do it again. They're going to take this election. How many of you brave Americans think they're going to rip off the election legally? Legally? They'll get away with it. They know exactly how to do it. How many of you fine folks think they're going to do it all over again? Big Elvis says, if Finney goes down with that affect Young Thug's case. If Finney goes down, will that affect Young Thug's case? I do not know. And the reason why is I do not know. I'm not even sure why this even affects Trump, be honest with you. I hate to say it. Young Thug, as you know, Young Thug. This is Fox 5 Atlanta. It's very interesting. Young Thug. that's not his name is Jeffrey Lamar Williams, known as Young Thug. By the way, what would be your rap name, Big Elvis? Like dirty, was it dirty old what's his name? Dirty old bastard or stupid son of a bitch or something like that. You know, what would be your you know, cause it's gotta be tough. Like Diddy Wop Diddy, Fitty Yay, old dirty bastard, you know, stupid son of a bitch. I mean, those would be some great names. What will be Dump Trump? That'd be a good one. I prefer Old Criminal. Caligula's Grin. Oh, I like that. Poop Pants. Very good. Dead Fish. That'd be a good one. Handle. Optimus Rhyme. ODB. I like that one. Sasha Lamora. I might use Sasha Lamora. Coochie Killer. Oh, I like that. Krusty Nuts. Tom Yost is Krusty Nuts. Ladies and gentlemen, poverty recording on Krusty Nuts. Ice Pube. Very good. Very. That's like plays on words. Have you ever read Chaos Theory? Dusty Mop? How about Bar Rag or Old Hospital Mop? Have you ever heard have you ever heard of these before? These are called actual Japanese porn titles. Have you ever heard this one before? A friend of mine turned me on to this one a while back. Are you still practicing law and representing? Absolutely. Absolutely, dear Bradley. You better believe it. I have a select clientele. They have to be relatively sane. And even that's... but let me tell you this much. Here we go. This is from every day. This one man loads up the internet browser and it does a search call for intellectual. These are about Japanese porn titles, and these are real. These are real. These are for some reason these work. For example, men's nipple pleasure salon. Guys make you shudder and heal you. Next one is, to be honest, for the past 3 years, I never liked this nickname. Right now, I'm into sex and funny stuff. Ha ha, I really need to enjoy myself at this age. Here we go. Soapland, featuring really young students. They only work when their chances of not getting pregnant are 80%. This is a title. Nicely sized clothes. I'll let that one go. The shower curtain is see-through. Here we go. These ladies don't know their tight pantsuits are torn. This is a title. This is a title. There are always some kind of erotic girls. Here we go. This is my favorite. This is my favorite. This is the name, not only of a title, but maybe my new band, Orgasm Wheelchair. I Here we go. I'm fine with touching bugs. Just do yourself a women. Wikipedia has Japanese sexploitation names. Not exactly the most. They don't spend a lot of time on titles. Okay. Sometimes things are lost in translation. You are correct about that. There is something to be said for that. Let's stand by for a second, my friend. What a nice way to end this. Japanese porn titles. This would be. You think you would think sometimes there would be this universality of titles. Sometimes there would be the big joke used to be sometimes it would take a name and kind of play it. Like one I saw was called Shaving Ryan's Privates, which I thought was very good. At least it was clever. You know what else is clever? This. Well, it is time yet again, my friends, to hail and salute our great friends at mypillow.com. And if you use promo code Lionel, you'll get a free gift. No purchase necessary. And yes, I know, a free gift. It's a tautology, so sue me. But first, please listen. What are we talking about here? Down comforters, flannel sheets, Giza Dream bed sheets, My Pillow 2.0 sheets, slippers, percales, towels, quilts, bedspreads, mattresses, mattress covers, mattress toppers, linens, kitchen towels, bathrobes, name it. Literally name it. Items to help you luxuriate and relax. And they're monster sellers. Slippers. My slippers. That's right. Slip-ons, moccasins. Think about it. What do they do at My Pillow? They make things real soft and plush and comfy. How perfect. Now here's the link. MyPillow.com promo code Lionel or MyPillow.com /Solidus or Virgil /Lionel or call 800-645-4965 and watch how fast Mike answers the phone. MyPillow.com promo code Lionel. Simply and absolutely the best. My friends, I don't know what brought me to this notion of Japanese porn titles because they're not gross. They're just, they make you say, How about Stark Naked Nudist Marina? Abnormal Dancing School. Every now and then we'll drive and go, there's a Fred Astaire dancing. Who's taking dancing classes? At Fred Astaire. How about this one? Failure as a Mother. This is a porn title. Undergarment sale. Oh, no, excuse me. Immoral lesbian undergarment saleswoman is one. How about there's also immoral lesbian undergarment saleswoman? Which is a close friend? Touch and guess 6. On the street, daring sex on a roller platform. The slave private. Listen to this. These are Japanese translation. Japanese pornography titles translated. The slave private secretary who had the line of the beautiful foot hidden dragon. And vibrator attack. And finally, transvestites banned from Thai medical schools. Now, let me tell you something. That is worth the price of admission. That is it right there. Please. Sparky breaks the monotony by asking, Navalny was Russian Juan Guaido. He's always been sickly and had many enemies. He was also a political zero, puppet of the West. Maybe he was knocked off to make Putin look bad in the wake of Tucker interview. Could be. I know that he was, in the scheme of things, might have been a quote Putin opposition. Could you please name who is Trump opposition? Who is Biden opposition? What do these words even mean? So all I want to tell you is we talked about three biggies tonight. Fani Willis, or Fani. Don't give me that Fani business. Absolutely low rent, low class, low IQ. Listen to this. Just listen. The stories, the perjurious, the mendacity. Remember something. If you're going to get caught in court, answer the question and make it sound like it's no big deal. Did you have sex with Mr. Wade? Yes. Was Mr. Wade married your employee? Yes. Did he ever buy you things? Yes. Did you pay him back? Yes. Don't tell me you paid him back in cash. Nobody paid anybody back. I gave him the money back in cash. Now think about this. You're stooping this one. I'll take this seriously. You're not going to bottom out of that one. And after you're done, this is your boss. And she says, okay, what was that bill? Well, with the room, $750. Okay, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. $7.50. Okay. Want a receipt? I don't want a receipt. Why would two lovers pay each other back? Please. Anybody? Have you ever done that before? Sparky says, you missed my Fanny super chat. Wait a minute. Hold it. Jesus, I'm so sorry. Just a second. Hang on a minute. Hold on. Here, wait. No, that's not it. Hang on a minute. Wait a minute. I'm looking for it. No, that's not it. Here we go. Oh, it was even before the Trump thing. Here we go. I'm sorry. Even before the Trump thing, Fani Willis, who grew up wealthy, was known as an oddball, spoiled brat in the Atlanta legal community. Sparky, you see where she got that $8 million from? She got 300 acres in Maui and Georgia, and 650,000 in gold. And what? What the hell? What? Does this story make any sense to you? Where is this from? I mean, I say, good for you, go. She's got blue chip stocks. She's got this. She got them, and this guy, she's paying him back in cash. That story is more stupid. Just answer the question. Did you have sex with him? Yes. Did you pay him back? No. Okay. What does this have to do with me prosecuting Trump? Nothing, really. Remember when David Petraeus had that Paula, what was her name, Broadwell or something? Remember when she talked about pillow talk? Remember that one? Remember that was they were gonna bounce his ass and bust him to I don't know, lieutenant general or something. People do weird stuff, and you would think somebody would. And by the way, each of the people coming up is like, oh my God. The father comes up like, this is the funniest. Who's calling? What is the relevance of any of this? I know judges who would say, what are you doing? Who are these people? What are they? The one guy with a thing on his head. And I mean, it's like, this is like Judge Mathis or something. Who are these people? It's just this lying sense of, I gotta tell the truth. Yeah, you mean I just can't, make up stuff? No, really? So when I fill out my pleadings for the divorce, I've got to answer truthfully. Yeah. Can I go back and change them? No. Really? So I got to tell the truth? I can't just make stuff up? Okay. And you know that Wade's thinking, this ain't worth it. This is going to be the most expensive thing of in the world? He's thinking to himself, what was I thinking? He's going to be a joke. Now, she might end up on The View. She might be on some, who knows, Club Shay Shay. That's where I'd go. I mean, I would, if I were, she's going to go on something. She's going to say, look what they're doing to this black woman. Yeah, you know where this is going. And I don't blame her. Sparky says, Navalny, boy, you've mastered the splitting the first letter with the, Navalny was nothing in Russia. The West grossly exaggerates his importance. They did with Juan Guaido in Venezuela. I like that. By the way, did you hear what Scott Ritter said about it? Scott Ritter was wonderful. Did you hear that? Wonderful. Well, not Guido, Juan Guaido. Guaido. Listen to Scott Ritter. Scott Ritter has one of the best. He did a podcast with a Russian woman. It's fantastic. Utterly fantastic. He's wonderful. Absolutely terrific stuff. So anyway, dear friends, you were terrific. I'm telling you, Club Shay Shay. You think I'm kidding? You think I'm kidding? Okay? Anyway. So my friends, I thank you. Sparky, per usual, thank you for your perspicacity and your magniloquence. The Brad, thank you, sir. Big Elvis, the Chef Rosenberg, thank you, sir. Christopher Owen, if that's your real name. John McGuire couldn't get higher. Yolanda Torres. Yoli Towers, ladies and gentlemen, thank you as well. And thank you. By the way, oh, wait a minute. The Brad, hold it. The Brad says, just a minute. The Brad says, how do you represent someone on the federal level versus state level? And what states are you licensed in? Just a question. Would you represent someone that was dealing with a January 6th issue? Are you more criminal or civil? How do you represent someone on the federal versus state level? That's easy. You file a notice of appearance. What states are you licensed in? New York, New Jersey, Florida, and the District of Columbia, as well as the Supreme Court, as well as the Southern District of New York, the Eastern District of New York, the Second Circuit, New Jersey New Jersey District Courts, and the Third Circuit Court of Appeals, which is Jersey and Philly. So that would be Court of Appeals. So all of those. And would you represent someone that was dealing with a January 6th issue? I absolutely would. Absolutely. One that I would stay away from is probably representing Trump. I think those are killers. But the January 6th case, absolutely. You can only be involved in a case that you really feel good about. That's you're where you'll be excited. And I hate to say it, when you kind of get along with the people involved and you can do a good job. Sparky says those Japanese porn titles were descriptive rather than poetic. Indeed. But it goes to show you that they still sell. So it's not so much in the title. I'm wondering, Sparky, if you were to take an English title, and if the title were Maytag Repairman chained to engine block on fire rose, and put it into Japanese, would it come out pornographic? Just a thought. Just a thought. Just a thought, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I also want to announce, by the way, Mrs. Alden and I have figured out that we are of the opinion that people, am I right, honey, are insane. That we are running into the dumbest people at every level of our existence. Am I getting close to that, honey? Yes. the dumbest people you have ever, and so dumb, you want to say, do you know how stupid you are? Do you have any idea? You don't understand little simple things, not big complicated deals, just simple things. I want to leave you with that. Now, also, please follow Mrs. L at Lens Warrior. She's got some great, great, great videos. Great Lens Warriors on YouTube and Lens Warriors on X or Twitter. Incredible stuff. Stuff that will blow your mind. Do you understand this? Okay. All right, dear friends, have a great and a glorious and a wonderful day. Thank you so much for your excitement. Thank you so much for your interest. Thank you so much for your perspicacity and your gentleness. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're a good group. You're interesting. You're funny. You're courteous. You're wonderfully daft, on the edge, just the way I like it. And it is an honor to know you and be a part of this endeavor with you. Have a good day, my friends. See you tomorrow at 8 a.m. And don't forget these words, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Da-da.